Hey guys, welcome back. So in today's September video, I thought of doing something extra helpful. Now this is going to be extremely important or resourceful for those of you who are just starting out a YouTube channel. Now this is a video I wish I had when I first started making content here on YouTube and Instagram, and this is like a list of all of the equipment and software that I like to use to produce content in this channel. The first one is for beginners. This is for those of you who do not have anything saved for an investment, which is a DSLR camera or any other camera or lenses, because these things are crazy expensive. So if you are a beginner, I would recommend that you start recording in your phone. So the only thing that I would recommend that you invest in are those tripods that are for your phone. So a good natural light and your phone camera is more than enough for a good beauty tutorial. You know, it's all about the lighting. The next camera that I like to use often to vlog is this. This is the Canon G7x. It's one of the best cameras out there. It comes with a flip screen, so I can see what I am filming. What I like about this camera is how insane the stability of this camera is. I could be walking and recording and this would stabilize it. It has full HD recording. The only thing I don't like about this is the audio. Otherwise this camera is great. Again, you can invest in this if you are starting a beauty channel, because in natural light this camera will give you great results. Like, this is one of my favorite pocket size cameras. This is what I usually carry around with me when I'm traveling. It's also great to take like selfies with, because you can see yourself, and if you want like really high quality Instagram makeup pictures, you can get great pictures using this camera. This is the camera that I first invested in. This is the Canon 60D. I don't know if this is still available, but a better version of this is the Canon 80D, because it has the auto face recognition and the auto focus. But the reason I invested in this camera is because of the flip screen. Because I film by myself, this was so important, and this is how I could see what I was filming, if I was on focus, if I was even in the frame. And this is also one of the first lenses that I invested in. Now this is not a lens that you must have in your kit. This is an 80mm lens, and this is for portraits. Okay, so this lens is a prime lens, which means that you cannot zoom in this. It's a fixed focal length, so you cannot zoom in or zoom out. You have to physically move forward or backward in case you would want to change the frame. But 80mm is great for makeup pictures, and sometimes when I really want a lot of details to show, especially for my YouTube thumbnails, I take pictures with the 80mm. For example, if I want a detailed shot of my nails or a detailed shot of my eyes, then I like to use the 80mm. You can even go for 100mm, which is even much more zoomed, and you get this beautiful portrait with this, but you have to like really keep your camera far away. So this is the first camera that I invested in, but I would recommend that you check out it 80D instead of the 60D, because I feel like the specifications are much better on an 80D. So this is the camera that I am currently filming with. This is the Canon EOS 60 Mark II, and as you can tell, this also comes with the flip viewfinder, and that is so important. And then it has my microphone mounted on it. This is the Rode video mic. I'm gonna link it down below. It's just the standard one, and then I connect it to my camera right over here, and that's how I like to film. And then it just is rested onto a tripod. This is a very regular tripod. I'm actually thinking of upgrading one, so if I find something that is better than this, I'm just gonna link it down below. And the lens that I like to use with this camera is the 30mm 1.4. So again, as you can tell, is a prime lens, so you can't zoom in and out, so you have to like physically move ahead and backwards in case you'd like to change the composition. And also because it is 1.4, you get this really nice bokeh effect behind me if I have like fairy lights on. So the reason I invested in this camera is because it is a full frame camera, unlike the 60D, which was a crop frame camera. So what it did was just zoomed in just a little bit more than a full frame camera would do. So if I use the 80mm lens on this camera, it would work as a 100mm. If I use the 30mm on this camera, it would work as a 50mm, because it's a crop frame camera. But in this camera, because this is full frame, you get the full frame. So a 30mm will act like a 30mm. And I think 30mm is the best lens out there. It's one of my favorite investments that I've ever done. But you can also check out the 40mm pancake lens. It's the best again. It's not as expensive as the 30mm, and it actually gives a great result. Like, the must-have lenses in your kit should be a 50mm, which is a great lens to begin with. Like 50mm 1.8 lens is something that you must invest in, and it's one of the best portrait lenses ever to take like pictures and stuff. And it's not that expensive as well. And then you can also invest in 40mm pancake lens, which is again slightly more expensive than the 50mm. Again, great result, especially for video, because it's really wide and you get like this full frame. And yeah, I really like the 40mm lens, but I don't have it in my kit because my 30mm is enough and I don't need anything more than this, because I'm usually like sitting down and doing my videos. So that's all for my camera gear. I also have one more thing that I like to use to record audio. This is the Zoom H1. Now this one is a straight up audio recorder. You use it with a battery like this, and then you use a micro SD. So I've got like a micro SD and an adapter. So this is how you record the audio in it, and this is how you transfer the audio into the laptop. This is an expensive device and it's not something that is necessary. And also another thing about this is that you have to manually connect the audio and sync it along with the audio of the camera. So sometimes it's a lot of work, so I stopped using this and I started using my Rode mic instead. Some of the things that I would recommend if you are a YouTuber, the first thing that you need to get if you are filming videos is extra battery. I learned this the hard way, and it takes some time to recharge the battery. So while you're filming one video, and especially with like makeup tutorial where you're like blending quite a lot and you don't realize that how much time is spent, your battery runs out and then you have to wait for your battery to recharge, and it's a long process. The light will go away. Invest in an extra battery no matter which camera you're using. So this is the SD card that I like to use. They're from SanDisk, and this is the Ultra 64 GB one, and the one that I'm filming with is the Extreme Pro. So these SD cards have a higher write rate, so they can record HD video really well without interrupting your filming. So it's very important that you buy high quality SD card and invest in them. Next, for light, I like to use a ring light. Now I got this from Amazon, and this is one of my favorite purchases ever, and I like to place it directly above me. Yeah, this is how I place my ring light. I don't place it right in front of the camera because I feel like that just gets it like brighter than it should be. And one of my favorite things to use while filming is a reflector. These are pretty inexpensive and one of the best purchases you would ever make, not only for videos but also for pictures, for flat lays, for portraiture. These are amazing. So basically I have a ring light from this side, but you know, there's not enough light on this side, so the reflector will reflect light from the ring light onto my face. So I'll show you an example without the reflector. This is how my video is going to look without the reflector. As you can see, there are some shadows on my face, and then I go ahead and put the reflector over here, and it's still not how it was. Yes. So yeah, and this is how it is with the reflector on. You could also get a stand for your reflector, because usually in shoots there's always someone holding it. Right now I have kind of fixed it between my legs and the tripod, so hashtag Jagar all the way. But I would recommend, if you're investing, then invest in a stand as well, so that the reflector is just there and you have one less thing to worry about. So that's all equipment wise. You don't need any other fancy light or anything other than a ring light and a reflector, or you could even use like a softbox and a reflector, and that's all you would need to create beauty videos. Next, let's move on to the software that I use to edit my videos. So to edit my videos, I use this software called Final Cut Pro. That's what I like to use to edit my videos. There are a lot of tutorials on YouTube that teach you how to use Final Cut Pro, and I'm sure it's going to be like a whole lot of different video altogether if you want me to explain how this works and the things that I like to do. But yeah, this is what I use, Final Cut Pro. You can even use iMovie. I just really like Final Cut Pro because I'm just like used to it. That's what I've been using, but you can definitely check out iMovies too, because it's equally powerful. So that's all for this video. I hope this was resourceful. I hope this was informative, and everything is linked down below in case you want to save it and think about getting it later. So that's all for this September video. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I hope you guys are enjoying September so far. Make sure you are subscribed so that you do not miss any other video coming out, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!